Mavericks fans, we got some trade rumors to catch you guys up on here in just a moment. But speaking of trades, I want to do a video based on your trade ideas. So load them up right now in the comments. Use that hashtag Mavs and send in your trade ideas. And don't just say trade for LeBron. Give me a LeBron trade idea, whether it's, Jalen Brunson, Tim Hardaway Jr., and a couple first-round picks for LeBron. I don't care what the trade is, but be specific. Use players, use draft picks. Mavs receive this, Lakers receive that, Mavs receive, Hawks receive. Whatever the trade is, be specific because the best trades will get onto the show. So use hashtag Mavs and load them up right now. Mavericks Today by Chat Sports coming at you. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. We got some trade rumors to catch you guys up on here on a Wednesday. So let's go ahead and jump on into it. Bleacher Report did a no-brainer trade for every single team in the NBA. And I got to say, I was a little surprised by who the primary trade target was for the Mavericks in this article. Anthony Davis, who we haven't talked about in a while here on Mavericks Today. They've got Anthony Davis landing to Dallas in their no-brainer trade idea article. Like I mentioned, he's certainly been banged up, right? The last couple of years has missed a lot of time with injuries. But the Mavs certainly need a really good big on both ends of the floor, and AD is that. But it's like, didn't we just see this with Porzingis? Now, Davis is certainly better than KP. I'm not disputing that. But at the same time, availability is the best ability. But let's talk about the positives first. Rim protector, rebounder. We know about the scorer he is. He would provide what you didn't have in the playoffs. Let's be real. Dwight Powell, he'd play 2 minutes, then check out because he was such a nuisance. Maxi Kleber, decent backup, not a starter. Anthony Davis, when healthy, is a top 5 two-way big in the NBA. There's no doubt. In his career, he's a 24-10 guy with over 2 blocks per game. An excellent scorer who, at times in his career, has stretched all the way out to the three-point line, but that's diminished the past couple of years. He hasn't shot it as well from out there. The problem has been the injuries, especially the last 2 years. He's had injuries throughout his whole career, but, missed 15, 20 games in a lot of seasons. But the last 2 years ago, only played in 36 games, which was half the season, 72-game season. Last year, only played in 40, less than half. Numbers are still good. He's still, close to a double-double, 22, 23 points, 8 to 10 rebounds. He can still block shots. He's a decent facilitator as a big, still really efficient as a scorer, but the key is, can he be healthy, especially come playoff time? If you play 65 games but gets hurt come postseason, none of it matters because if you're going to make a trade like Anthony Davis, you're going to lose some of your depth and you need his 20-plus points and 10 rebounds and defense come playoff time. I don't know. I think it's a little risky if I'm being completely honest, but here's a trade idea I did cook up for you guys. Anthony Davis to the Mavs for Tim Hardaway Jr., Spencer Dinwiddie, 2 first-round picks, including this year's, so it would have to be a draft night trade, and a second-round pick next year. I feel like that's pretty good value. 2 firsts, 2 quality rotation players, and a second for a guy who's been hurt a lot the last 2 years. Now, 2 years ago, this would not be nearly enough in a trade, but right now, I think this is about the ballpark for what the Lakers would get for a guy like Anthony Davis. Would you trade for Anthony Davis? You're Nico Harrison, you're Jason Kidd, you're Mark Cuban, you're Michael Finley, you're Luka Doncic, you're in charge. Would you trade for AD? Type T for trade, type P for pass. It's a little too risky for my liking. I'm going to have to type my P for pass. Now, Mavericks fans, this channel would not be possible without our main Chat Sports YouTube channel, youtube.com/chatsportstv. We are almost at 300,000 subscribers on our main channel, so go subscribe. If you love the NBA, more NBA news and rumors, NFL coverage, college football, plus tonight, Game 3, if you're watching here on Wednesday of the NBA Finals, we're going to have a live watch party. Chase Senior producer Jeffrey Cooperstein, who usually produces Mavericks Today, will have you covered with live coverage, and probably we will reach 300,000 subs tonight. So sub now and join us for the watch party. You can be witnessing live when we cross the 300,000 milestone. Next up on Dallas Mavericks Today, could Dallas bring back a familiar face? Who are you talking about, Harrison? Who is a familiar face? Well, how about Harrison Barnes, as Sports Illustrated cooked up an article that had a trade idea around Barnes that could bring him back to Dallas, I should say. Of course, Dallas traded Barnes to Sacramento in 2019, and he's been a lot more efficient than he was, with Dallas, but even before so with Golden State. I think his stint in Dallas really helped him kind of take that next step, and then he found a nice niche in Sacramento. But, there's a lot of chatter around the Kings. They could blow things up. They could mix things up. A lot of players could be on the move. And, hey, what did we say after the playoffs? Dorian Finney-Smith and Reggie Bullock were gassed because you were probably one wing short. Well, Harrison Barnes is a quality wing that can play 30, 35 minutes a game. Since he's left Dallas, his numbers have been very good, very efficient. Almost 16 points, almost 6 boards, 47.5% from the field, 39% three-point shooter. That's an area of his game he's really improved on the last 3, 4, 5 years toward the end of his stint in Dallas, but especially with Sacramento. He's an improved player on both ends. Now, he's not that guy coming out of college where he's like, oh, baby LeBron. Like, he's not that, but he's a 16 to 20-point scorer that can really play defense, too. Can be a number 3, number 4 type of guy on a contending team. I think for this team, he'd probably be a number 3, assuming you bring back Jalen Brunson. I like Harrison Barnes. I think he's a solid player. He's a great dude, by the way, as well. He fits into every culture, every locker room that he's ever been a part of, and that's been the case in Sacramento. It was the case when he was in Dallas, and it would be the case if he did return. So here's a trade idea from Sports Illustrated, also featuring Richaun Holmes. Barnes and Holmes, who we've talked about quite a bit, really good roller and scorer around the basket, good rim protector as well. For Tim Hardaway, Dwight Powell, 2022 first-round pick. That's a pretty good trade for Dallas. Quite frankly, I don't know if Sacramento takes it, but if this trade's on the table, sign me up. You get Barnes, another wing, which would probably slide Reggie Bullock to the bench. You get Richaun Holmes, a huge upgrade at center, and all you lose is Tim Hardaway, who's a good player, but you didn't have last year anyway during your run during the Western Conference Finals. Dwight Powell, see ya, and 1 first. I mean, guys, that's pretty good if we're being completely honest. The depth would be really nice. I mean, you think about what this lineup could look like if you made this move. You add Barnes to the starting lineup. Bullock comes off the bench with a guy like Spencer Dinwiddie. Kleba's off the bench, which, again, in that 15, 18 minutes as a backup big, I'm fine with that. He just can't play 30 minutes a game in a playoff series. So look back at the trade here, get more thoughts in, and should the Mavs make this move? This is your time to interact in the show. Type Y for yes, type N for no. If this trade was on the table right now, would you make it on draft night? I absolutely would. In complete honesty, I think this would be a great move for Dallas. Y for yes, N for no. Keep it moving here on Mavericks today. A little bit of draft stuff before we sign off. NBA draft coming up. We'll have some more draft videos on the channel, so be sure to subscribe, youtube.com/MavsTV. Josh Robbins tweeted out, G League Ignite guard Jaden Hardy said he has upcoming workout scheduled with Atlanta, Charlotte, Dallas, and New Orleans. Hardy worked out for the Wizards this morning and said he previously worked out for Golden State, Milwaukee, Minnesota, and Oklahoma City. So draft prospects starting to make the rounds. Jaden Hardy, who played for the G League Ignite, put up decent numbers, but the efficiency was pretty poor. You like the points per game. He's got some creation ability, but 35% from the field, less than 27% from 3. He's a raw but what's the word I'm thinking of? He's a raw but capable scorer, I should say. He's got the skill in his game to be a solid, I would say, volume scorer off the bench who could become a starter down the road. Jamal Crawford vibes, I would say, but he's got a long way to go. Shot decision-making has got to improve, shot selection, I should say. Just overall basketball IQ, and the shot needs to improve as well, but he's got the ability. Do you want to draft a guy who needs probably a year or two to mature as a player? I'd like to get a win-now player. I'm not sure Jaden Hardy would be that for this basketball team. All right, that's going to do it for Dallas Mavericks today here on this show. Appreciate everybody who tuned in today. We'll have more videos coming up. And remember, hashtag Mavs, send in those trade ideas. We'll load up as many as we can on a future video. Until then, so long. We'll see you soon here on the channel.